What's up, guys? Smash Adams here, and today I'm going to do an update on my Lightsworn deck. Overall, I like the changes with the new stuff that I've got over the week, especially with the premium gold and a couple of astral support cards that I got. It was they really did come in handy for this deck. I plan on taking this to my locals really soon. Overall, I've been play testing it with my friends and folks in my hangout spots, and they said this is pretty good. You should take this to a tournament sometime. So overall, changes are fantastic. So without further ado, here is Lightsworn's. Starting off, we've got one, not two, but three JDs. They are a must in this build. You get three of those on board, it's obviously game over, unless your opponent is powered up by life point boosting cards. Then there's no way they can bypass a 9,000 game beater. So pretty much you pay $1,000, destroy almost every card on the field using this card's effect. And if you have two more of these on board, like I said, go for game the minute you spam them. But here's the drawback. You have to have at least 4 or more Lightsworn monsters with different names in order to use this card. So, my best bet, keep an eye on your graveyard, but don't keep too much of an eye on your graveyard, because your opponent can easily find ways to banish stuff from your graveyard now, especially with new support hitting Lightsworn decks these days. But overall, yeah, JD is a must-to-have at 3. So go for it. Next we have one Tech of Dark Armed. I decided to keep this in because, especially with running Effect Veiler now, he really puts in work. And that way, if I run out of Dark Monsters, I can think, you know what, he's already used up. And yes, he's a beater, but he can also work well with level 8 synchro plays. But I mainly use him just to get an extra beater on board, considering you can easily get... You know how easily you can get like 3 dark monsters into your graveyard? It's that easy. All you need is a couple of necro gardnas and you're good to go. And whenever other dark monsters go into your graveyard later on, since you mill a lot, you have more popping power for Dark Arm's effect. So yeah, give Dark Arm a go. It's no-brainer to run him. And now for the Chaos monsters, we got 1 BLS and 2 Chaos Sorcerers. Chaos Sorcerer is very good in this deck. I thought of running M7, considering I can easily make rank 6s using 2 Chaos Sorcerers and such, but I figured with their abilities, I'm going to need all the help I can get this format, because I don't want to do too many special summons, because nowadays with traps and back rows being a problem, it's kind of iffy special summoning too much at one time. So I want to have as more control on the field as possible. Like I said with Chaos Dragons, same thing applies. So it's a no-brainer to run these in 2. Most decks I saw ran 1, but in this case, since it's already set in stone on the ban list, give it a try at 2. It never hurts. So yeah, 2 Chaos Sorcerers and a BLS. You can easily pick these up for like a couple of dollars now, since they've been reprinted so much. And of course, we cannot complement a Lightsworn deck without the engine itself. To start off, we have 3 Lumina. You need these to pretty much have your field set as far as milling and going off with certain loops like Garoth, for example. You get this on board first turn, and if you have an Honest sitting in your hand unbeknownst to your opponent, you're good to go. And if you have necro gardnas, that's pretty much it. You can just sit on that until they do something to your own field. Next we got 3 Lylas. I decided to add another Lyla because it benefited me more compared to Ryko. Even though I like the popping ability to destroy any card with Ryko, nowadays with back row, I'm going to need Lyla because, 1, she mills more. Yes, so does Ryko. But in this case, I want to have a lot of field presence and just pretty much get rid of as many back rows as possible. So 3 Lylas, it's pretty good. You can run 2 to kind of balance it out and then take 1 Lyla out for a Ryko, but in this case, it was easier for me. So yeah, 3 Lylas, 1 Ryko, because it's really good, pop stuff. You can run 2 if you wish, but to kind of lessen the chances of not running into the right cards that you want, just 1, only to thin the deck out. That's it. 1 ehren to get over face down monsters. Yes, the flip effects will be activated, but they return back to the deck regardless. So, say, like I said, say if you were running into a mirror match with Lightsworns and you hit a Ryko, Ryko's effect still goes off, and they still mill, but it returns to the deck afterwards. So, yeah, 1 ehren, never hurts. 1 jain. I took the other one out just to, like I said with Ryko, to thin it out. So, yeah. It's still pretty good, though. 2 garoths. Say if I lose 1 due to banishing, I can always have another one in my graveyard, so that way I can use Luminous effect to get it back. So, I'm going to get a lot of draw power with this deck anyway, so it doesn't matter. 2 wolves. I thought of adding Celestia in the deck, but I realized Celestia was pretty much giving me a lot of dead draws, so I took it out and just kept it the way it was. So, yeah, never hurts to run 2 wolves. You can get away with running 3, but if you want to lessen your chances of drawing into a card that you really don't need and you're left with nothing, not even less than a solar recharge in your hand to get rid of this, yeah, run 2, because it can really help you out. Really good beaters to get on board, especially if you're milling. Now for the hand traps, of course you run 1 honest, because you do run a lot of lights in this deck. 1 gorz, and 2 tragedias. They're basically the powerhouses of the hand traps. This is basically, if I have nothing on my field, I can just get it and then summon it straight off the bat and along with the token. Plus, say if your opponent burns you with Volcasaurus and such, which has happened to me a couple of times, and if you have nothing, you can spam it and then burn your opponent for the exact amount that you took. So, yeah. Yes, the first effect is not used a lot, but never hurts to try it. And these are just for level manipulation and just powering up its attack points, unless they Veiler it. So, yeah. And speaking of Veilers, I run 2. I decided to just cut some of the Lightsworns and add a few effect negations. So, plus, it helps with synchro summons. Two plaguespreaders, because like Veiler, I synchro summon a lot, and never hurts to have that on board. You can easily get Mistworm with this. You can easily get a lot done with this card. It's not even funny, I'm telling you. Plaguespreader is awesome. Give it a try. And lastly, to end the monster lineup, 3 necro gardnas, just to save your field and yourself from being attacked directly. So why not? Now for the spells. 1, charge the Light Brigade. It's a must for Lightsworns. 3 solar recharges, basically the draw power engines of the deck. Foolish Burial. Basically, if you want to mill a Lightsworn or a necro gardna, you can do that and just get away with your opponent just trying to attack you and then just say negate. So yeah, Foolish Burial can really benefit you with this deck. And 3 monster reincarnations, just in case I mill a JD and I want to get it back. Or another beater in my deck that was milled. So yeah. And lastly, to end the main deck, I have the traps, which are just 2 beckoning lights. I might take 1 out, but so far 2 has been working out great for me. And now, since I don't have a side deck ready yet. I'm going to show you the extra deck, which is really good so far. I'm going to start off with the Xyz, which are the rank 3s. 1 engineer, and 1 leviator. Engineer has been putting in more work compared to Zen mains. As much as I like Zen mains, I wanted to have more field protection for my monsters. And plus, since he's light, it's a no-brainer to keep him. Leviator, just to get back my Lightsworns that were banished, or anything 4 below that's banished. So if I had a plaguespreader, detach, get it back, synchro, bam. Got what you need. And now for the 4s. Lavalval chain, just to get more Lightsworns in your graveyard faster, or put stuff on the top of your deck faster. Like, say if you need a wolf, you can do that, and then wait until the end of the turn. Blackship, this will come out for a Daigusto Emerald when I get one, but this has been putting in a lot of work. And next we got 1 maestroke, palydinamo, Diamond Direwolf, and Constellar Omega. I haven't made this a lot, but it really helps against it being compulsed, bottomless, or whatever. So the minute you detach, nothing happens. So spell or trap wise, you're safe. And you have a 2400 beater on board, so yeah, it's a good card. Safe to say. And now for the synchros. 1 catastor, because you do run, say if you're running into mermills or such, since different attributes are playing a major role in the meta right now, yeah, never hurts to run catastor, especially in any chaos deck. Lightsworns mainly, but yeah, never hurts. For 6, we got 1 celestial wolf lord. Compared to Psymuth, I like it. Only because it feeds my graveyard for light and dark purposes, and just getting more chaos monsters if I lose it. But here's the cool part. When it's destroyed by battle, I can reduce the attack points of a monster by 1500. So, yeah. It's safe to say, you don't have to worry about anything happening to you anytime soon, unless their monster is infinitely stronger than anything that you can't get above. So 1500 is pretty high of a reducing advantage, so go for it. Celestial Wolf Lord's pretty awesome. And for the 8s, I run Stardust Spark, Scrap Dragon, Crimson Blader, and beelze. Now, I decided to add these 2 in, and I'll explain why. Someone actually recommended that I run Stardust Spark Dragon because it protects my field and my monsters from being destroyed, pretty much. So say if I use its effect and beelze is on the field, I pretty much have a powerhouse right there, say if I wanted to use JD's effect. So if I pay 1,000, guess what? Since I've already used its effect already, I don't have to worry. And of course with beelze, he sits on not being destroyed, so you can just sit there and laugh. Anyway, but yeah, overall, really, really good monsters to play. Beelze really does put in work. Same with Scrap, same with Crimson Blader, same with Stardust Spark. I cannot tell you how many times I went for game using all these monsters. Mainly him and mainly him. It was awesome. And lastly, 1 Mistworm. Does wonders. You can easily make level 9 with this deck. So anyway, this has been another deck profile with Smash Atoms. I plan on doing some more updates on this deck really soon. Overall, love the changes, like I said earlier, and that's just about it. So leave a comment, rate, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to watch for more. This is Smash Atoms, signing out. Peace.